Zebras have been kept in captivity since at least the Roman Empire. In later times, captive zebras have been shipped around the world, often for diplomatic reasons. In 1261, Sultan Baybars of Egypt established an embassy with Alfonso X of Castile and sent a zebra and other exotic animals as gifts. In 1417, a zebra was gifted to the Chinese people by Somalia and displayed before the Yongle Emperor. The fourth Mughal Emperor Jahangir received a zebra from Ethiopia in 1620 and Ostad Mansur made a painting of it. In the 1670s, Ethiopian Emperor Johannes I exported 2 zebras to the Dutch governor of Jakarta. These animals would eventually be given by the Dutch to the Tokugawa shogunate of Japan. When Queen Charlotte received a zebra as a wedding gift in 1762, the animal became a source of fascination for the people of Britain. Many flocked to see it at its paddock at Buckingham Palace. It soon became the subject of humor and satire, being referred to as the Queen's Ass, and was the subject of an oil painting by George Stubbs in 1763. The zebra also gained a reputation for being ill-tempered and kicked at visitors. In 1882, Ethiopia sent a zebra to French President Jules Grévy, and the species it belonged to was named in his honor. Attempts to domesticate zebras were largely unsuccessful. It is possible that having evolved under pressure from the many large predators of Africa, including early humans, they became more aggressive, thus making domestication more difficult. However, zebras have been trained throughout history. In Rome, zebras are recorded to have pulled chariots during amphitheater games starting in the reign of Caracalla, 198 to 217 AD. In the late 19th century, the zoologist Walter Rothschild trained some zebras to draw a carriage in England, which he drove to Buckingham Palace to demonstrate that it can be done. However, he did not ride on them knowing that they were too small and aggressive. In the early 20th century, German colonial officers in East Africa tried to use zebras for both driving and riding, with limited success. With their distinctive black and white stripes, zebras are among the most recognizable mammals. They have been associated with beauty and grace, with naturalist Thomas Pennant describing them in 1781 as the most elegant of quadrupeds. Zebras have been popular in photography, with some wildlife photographers describing them as the most photogenic animal. They have become staples in children's stories and wildlife-themed art, such as depictions of Noah's Ark. In children's alphabet books, the animals are often used to represent the letter Z. Zebra stripes are also popularly used for body paintings, dress, furniture and architecture. Zebras have been featured in African art and culture for millennia. They are depicted in rock art in southern Africa dating from 28,000 to 20,000 years ago, though less often than antelope species like eland. How the zebra got its stripes has been the subject of folk tales, some of which involve it being scorched by fire. The Maasai proverb, "A man without culture is like a zebra without stripes," has become popular in Africa. The San people connected zebra stripes with water, rain and lighting, and water spirits were conceived of having zebra stripes. For the Shona people, the zebra is a totem animal and is glorified in a poem as an iridescent and glittering creature. Its stripes have symbolized the union of male and female, and at the ruined city of Great Zimbabwe, zebra stripes decorate what is believed to be a domba, a school meant to prepare girls for adulthood. In the Shona language, the name Maduv means women of the zebra totem, and is a name for girls in Zimbabwe. The plains zebra is the national animal of Botswana, and zebras have been depicted on stamps during colonial and post-colonial Africa. For people of the African diaspora, the zebra represented the politics of race and identity, being both black and white. In cultures outside of its range, the zebra has been thought of as a more exotic alternative to the horse. The comic book character Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, is depicted riding a zebra, and explorer Osa Johnson was photographed riding one. The film Racing Stripes features a captive zebra ostracized from the horses and ends up being ridden by a rebellious girl. Zebras have been featured as characters in animated films like Kumba, The Lion King, and the Madagascar films and television series such as Zoe. Zebras have been popular subjects for abstract, modernist and surrealist artists. Such art includes Christopher Wood's Zebra and Parachute, Lucian Freud's The Painter's Room and Quince on a Blue Table, and the various paintings of Mary Fedden and Sidney Nolan. Victor Vasarely depicted zebras as black and white lines and connected in a jigsaw puzzle fashion. Karel Wheat's escape of the zebra from the zoo during an air raid was based on a real-life incident of a zebra escaping during the bombing of London Zoo and consists of 4 comic book-like panels. Zebras have lent themselves to products and advertisements, notably for Zebra Great Polish cleaning supplies by British manufacturer Reckitt & Sons and Japanese pen manufacturer Zebra Co. Limited. Zebras are African equines with distinctive black and white striped coats. There are 3 living species: the Gravy's zebra, plains zebra and the mountain zebra. Zebras share the genus Equus with horses and asses, the 3 groups being the only living members of the family Equidae. Zebra stripes come in different patterns, unique to each individual. Several theories have been proposed for the function of these stripes, with most evidence supporting them as a deterrent for biting flies. Zebras inhabit eastern and southern Africa and can be found in a variety of habitats such as savannas, grasslands, woodlands, shrublands, and mountainous areas. Zebras are primarily grazers and can subsist on lower quality vegetation. They are preyed on mainly by lions and typically flee when threatened but also bite and kick. Zebra species differ in social behavior, with plains and mountain zebra living in stable harems consisting of an adult male or stallion. Several adult females are mares, and their young are foals, while Gravy's zebra live alone or in loosely associated herds. In harem-holding species, adult females mate only with their harem stallion, while male Gravy's zebras establish territories which attract females and the species is promiscuous. Zebras communicate with various vocalizations, body postures and facial expressions. Social grooming strengthens social bonds in plains and mountain zebras. Zebras' dazzling stripes make them among the most recognizable mammals. They have been featured in art and stories in Africa and beyond. Historically, they have been highly sought after by exotic animal collectors, but unlike horses and donkeys, zebras have never been truly domesticated. The International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN) lists the Gravy's zebra as endangered, the mountain zebra as vulnerable and the plains zebra as near threatened. The quagga, a type of plains zebra, was driven to extinction in the 19th century. Nevertheless, zebras can be found in numerous protected areas. Zebras may travel or migrate to wetter areas during the dry season. Plains zebras have been recorded traveling 500 kilometers, 310 miles, between Namibia and Botswana, the longest land migration of mammals in Africa. When migrating, they appear to rely on some memory of the locations where foraging conditions were best, and may predict conditions months after their arrival. Plains zebras are more water dependent and live in moister environments than other species. A zebra's diet is mostly grasses and sedges, but they will opportunistically consume bark, leaves, buds, fruits, and roots. Compared to ruminants, zebras have a simpler and less efficient digestive system. Nevertheless, they can subsist on lower quality vegetation. Zebras are threatened by hunting for their hide and meat, and habitat destruction. They also compete with livestock and have their traveling routes obstructed by fences. Civil wars in some countries have also caused declines in zebra populations. By the early 20th century, zebra skins were being used to make rugs and chairs. In the 21st century, zebras may be taken by trophy hunters as zebra skin rugs sell for $1,000 to $2,000. Trophy hunting was rare among African peoples, though the San were known to hunt zebra for meat. The quagga population was hunted by early Dutch settlers and later by Afrikaners to provide meat or for their skins. The skins were traded or used locally. The quagga was probably vulnerable to extinction due to its restricted range, and because they were easy to find in large groups. The last known wild quagga died in 1878. The last captive quagga, a female in Amsterdam's Natura Artis Magistra Zoo, lived there from the 9th of May 1867 until it died on the 12th of August 1883. The Cape mountain zebra, a subspecies of mountain zebra, nearly went extinct due to hunting and habitat destruction, with less than 50 individuals left by the 1950s. Protections from South African national parks allowed the population to rise to 2,600 by the 2010s. Zebras can be found in numerous protected areas. Important areas for the Gravy's zebra include Yabala Wildlife Sanctuary and Shelba Sanctuary in Ethiopia and Buffalo Springs, Samburu and Shaba National Reserves in Kenya. The plains zebra inhabits the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania, Tsavo and Masai Mara in Kenya, Hwange National Park in Zimbabwe, Etosha National Park in Namibia, and Kruger National Park in South Africa. Mountain zebras are protected in Mountain Zebra National Park, Karoo National Park and Gogap Nature Reserve in South Africa, as well as Etosha and Namib Naukluft Park in Namibia.